Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that probably affects you more than you think, plumber licensing. Now, I know, it sounds like a simple safety thing, right? But it's actually at the heart of a huge debate about consumer protection, how much things cost, and even who gets to work in the trades. So let's break it down.
This really is the million-dollar question. Who is all this licensing really for? Is it designed to protect us, the homeowners, from shoddy work? Or does it end up just protecting the plumbers who are already in the business? As you're about to see, the answer is, well, it's complicated.
At its core, this whole thing is a clash between two really big ideas. You've got one side saying, hey, safety and quality are everything. Strict licenses are the only way to make sure a bungled plumbing job doesn't turn into a disaster. But then you've got the other side asking, okay, but what about cost and access? Are we creating a system that's just too expensive for regular people and too hard for new folks to break into?
So, first up, let's really dig into the argument for licensing. The main idea here is pretty straightforward. It's all about keeping you, the homeowner, safe. It's about quality, safety, and making sure someone is held accountable. Yeah, the number one reason you'll always hear for licensing is consumer protection. The entire system is basically built on a promise. If you hire a licensed plumber, you're getting someone who's been tested, who knows the codes, and who's expected to do safe, quality work. And this protection, it goes way beyond just fixing a leaky faucet. We're talking about making sure the person in your house knows the critical building codes for gas lines, for sewer lines, stuff where a mistake isn't just an inconvenience, it could be absolutely catastrophic. It also means if something goes wrong, there's an official way to complain. And they have to have insurance. Basically, it's this huge safety net for you as a homeowner.
But you know, it's not just about protecting the customer. Supporters argue that licensing is absolutely vital for the plumbing trade itself. It establishes a real career path, from apprentice all the way to master plumber, and it helps uphold the reputation of the whole profession.
And this brings us to this idea that economists call the race to the bottom. So imagine if there were no standards. The fear is that the market would just get flooded with unqualified people all trying to be the cheapest. And when you're competing only on price, what gets sacrificed? Usually it's quality and safety. Licensing is supposed to be a firewall against that, making sure that safety standards don't get thrown out the window just to save a few bucks.
Okay, that is a pretty convincing argument for licensing, right? But like with anything, there are trade-offs. So now let's flip the coin and look at the other side of this, the unintended consequences and the hidden costs that come with all this regulation. The first, most obvious drawback, it's the cost. I mean, we've all felt that, right? All that training, the insurance, the exams, the accountability, that all costs money. And naturally, that cost gets passed on to you. And while a lot of people can absorb that, for low-income families who just need an essential repair, it can be a massive financial wall.
And this can kick off a really nasty downward spiral. I mean, think about it. If you can't afford a licensed plumber, what are your options? Try a risky DIY fix from a YouTube video? Hire a cheaper, unlicensed person with zero accountability? Or you just let the problem go, hoping it fixes itself, which of course it doesn't, and that small leak turns into a massive, way more expensive disaster.
And it's not just consumers who feel the pinch. Let's think about someone who actually wants to become a plumber. The path to getting that license can be a huge hurdle. The very system designed to ensure quality can also act as a pretty powerful gatekeeper, and it might be keeping a lot of talented people out of the field.
And these barriers are no joke. We're talking about high fees for exams, the massive time commitment of a multi-year apprenticeship, which often doesn't pay a lot, and then having to keep up with continuing education. On top of all that, your license might not even work if you move to another state. And what's the end result? It actually contributes to the exact labor shortages we hear so much about, which then drives up prices and wait times for everyone. It's a real cycle.
So we've got these two totally different and honestly both pretty valid sides of the story. This brings us to what you could call the plumber's paradox, a system where the rules designed to protect people can also end up excluding people and making things unaffordable. It's a classic case of really, really complex trade-offs. Let's just quickly recap how this paradox hits everyone involved. For homeowners like us, we get that promise of quality and safety, but it comes with a higher bill. For aspiring plumbers, there's a clear career path to making good money, but it's blocked by some serious barriers. And for the plumbing trade as a whole, high professional standards can ironically lead to labor shortages. At the end of the day, you see that nobody really gets a perfect deal here. Every single group is caught in this balancing act.
So where does that leave us? It leaves us with a big final question. Is this a zero-sum game?
Do we have to choose between guaranteed quality on one side and affordable access on the other? Or is there a way to tweak the system? A way to protect homeowners without pricing out the most vulnerable and without walling off the trade to new talent? It's a balancing act with no easy answers, and definitely something to think about the next time you hear that drip, drip, drip of a leaky pipe.